If you're from a big city like New York, Chicago, Boston, or Philadelphia, there's some things that you worry about when making the leap from a big city to a mid-sized city like Charlotte that people from smaller cities don't worry about. And I can definitely relate because I made the move from New York City to Charlotte about 10 years ago. And there were two things that were heavy on my mind. One of those was, am I going to be able to handle the slower pace of life? And two, am I going to find enough things to do? Well, I can't promise you that Charlotte's going to have the plethora of activities that you're going to find in a New York City or in Chicago, but I can promise you that you're going to have a lower cost of living and most likely better weather. But that doesn't mean you aren't going to have activities to do. So today in this video, I'm going to cover 5 areas in Charlotte that people from big cities tend to be attracted to. Stay tuned. We're going there right now. If we haven't met yet, my name is Yadi Karina Jones, and I'm a real estate agent with Lifestyle International Realty here in Charlotte and the surrounding areas. Every week, I get on here to share what it's like to live in Charlotte, North Carolina. So whether you're from the big city, a medium-sized city, or a small city, it really doesn't matter. I'm here to tell you the pros and the cons of living in Charlotte, North Carolina, and potentially what it could offer you and your loved ones. If you haven't had a moment to subscribe to the channel, I'm inviting you to do that right now so you don't miss out on any of the information that I share regarding living in this great city. Now, we're going to check out 5 areas, 5 neighborhoods that you may want to contemplate if you're from the big city. The list that I'm getting ready to give you is by no means exhaustive. There are a ton of other neighborhoods that are attractive to people from the big city. One of the videos that I recently did about walkability, so 5 areas that are walkable in Charlotte, those are very close to uptown Charlotte, and they're areas that tend to be super busy and have a high level of activity. So that's another video that I'm going to link up here so that you can check it out. But these are 5 neighborhoods that I often see my clients are attracted to. So if you're from the big city, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. You're going to love learning about the places that big city people love to live in. With each neighborhood, I'm going to be covering the following. How many residents are in the area? What is the distance to Uptown and Charlotte Douglas Airport? What are some of the pros of living in that area? What is the average price of a home in the area, as well as at least one con of living in that area? So let's get started with Ballantyne. Ballantyne is a beautiful neighborhood located in South Charlotte. It has about 70,000 residents, and it's about 25 minutes from Uptown Charlotte and 25 minutes from Charlotte Douglas Airport. Ballantyne has been long known for its commitment to live, work, and play. What does that mean, you ask? Well, Ballantyne wants to be able to do all 3 of those at a high level of excellence. In fact, Ballantyne's known for its Ballantyne Corporate Park, which has been hailed as one of the best master plan communities in all of the United States. This particular corporate park houses several commercial offices as well as restaurants and recreational spaces. Most recently, Ballantyne has dedicated itself to the development of an area called Ballantyne Reimagined. This area was taken from the golf course that was publicly used before behind the Ballantyne Hotel, and now it will host an amphitheater for outdoor concerts and events. It will also have a stream park, which will have a ton of activities for children, as well as a greenway, and it'll have residences, making it an extremely walkable area for people who want to reside, where they can hang out and where they can go eat. There is also Ballantyne Village, which is literally across the highway. There you can have dinner at places like Blackfin, or you can grab a slice or a whole pie at Mellow Mushroom, as well as there's a Marriott there and several other shops, including hair salons. A couple of minutes away, you'll find a place called the Shops at Blakeney, which has amazing restaurants like 131 Main, which is one of my favorites. And it's an incredible place to shop, hang out, and eat. I also love Shake Shack there, which I hadn't been to in a very long time since leaving New York City. Now, if you do love Ballantyne as an option, just know that it is going to come at a cost. It's about, for a home, you're going to pay about $760,000 on average here. But the benefit of living in Ballantyne is if you do have children and they're school age, you are getting one of the most highly rated schools in all of Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. Many of them are hovering around a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, according to greatschools.org. You also will have to contend with a high density area, which means that traffic is one of the biggest cons there. It is horrendous during peak hours. A lot of bumper to bumper activity. But if you want to live in this beautiful area, that is something that if you're from the big city, you're probably not going to be scared of. Second neighborhood we're going to touch on today is South Park. I am a little biased because South Park is my absolute favorite neighborhood in all of Charlotte proper. South Park has about 18,000 residents. It's 18 minutes away from Uptown Charlotte and 25 minutes away from Charlotte Douglas Airport pending traffic. This area is well known for being pristine from its streets to its landscaping, and it's got beautiful water fountains throughout. If you love to shop till you drop, you're going to absolutely love South Park Mall. It is the best mall in all of Charlotte. You're going to find brands like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Pottery Barn, Our House. All of the top brands are here. You name it. If you enjoy fine dining, you're going to love this area. It's got restaurants like Steak 48, Oak Steakhouse, Del Frisco's, Booyah Gastro Bar, 131 Main, Restoration Hardware, and the list goes on and on. Much like Ballantyne, South Park does have some corporate headquarters here. A lot of corporations like to come here and set up their offices. Now, if you like bowling, nearby you're going to find Bolera 10 Park Lanes. And if you like walking, there is Greenway access here, very close by. All of this is going to come at a cost, but in the summer, you do get a freebie. There are outdoor concerts that are done at Symphony Park. Now, if you're trying to buy a home in this area, you're going to pay an average of about $982,000. In this list, South Park is the most expensive area that we are highlighting. So it does come at a cost. So the biggest con here is going to be the high price tag associated with South Park. And that goes for everything. Even groceries, you're looking at Whole Foods and Reed's Fine Foods. You're going to pay a lot in this area for most things. But if you're from New York or another big city like so, you're probably used to high price tickets. So it's okay. This is what comes with the territory if you live in South Park. The third area we're going to explore today is Pineville. Pineville is actually its own town in the southern part of Charlotte. It has about 11,000 strong, and it's about 20 minutes from Uptown Charlotte and 25 minutes away from Charlotte Douglas Airport. Now, it is a small town, but it does pack a big punch. It recently had its downtown redone, and there's several hot spots there that the local residents like to attend, like Margot, and a brand new library that it has. Nearby, there's a park that I like to go to called Lake Park. It has a splash pad, a water feature, a playground, and access to a greenway. One of the many that are throughout Pineville. Carolina Place Mall is a fixture at Pineville. Here you're going to find places like Forever 21, Belk, New York and Company, and much, much more. You'll also find places like Dave & Buster's and nearby a Sky Zone and Spare Time. So if you like to get your bowling game on, you can also eat and play arcades here. Now, Pineville is going to have access to the light rail system. This is one of the only ones that we're going to talk about today that is actually near a light rail. So that is a huge plus for Pineville. You also are going to have a main hospital here. And I know that this doesn't seem very important, but there are a lot of areas in Charlotte that only have access to urgent care or emergency centers. So the fact that Pineville has its own, it has an Atrium Health facility there right in the middle, in the center, in the heart of Pineville, is a huge big deal, especially if you require medical attention pretty often. And Pineville does have a street called Pineville Matthews, and here you're going to find a ton of eateries and places to shop. One of my favorite places, if you keep going further down, is Amelie's. It is a Parisian-style bakery that has not only baked goods, but also food for you to enjoy. Pineville has a ton of places to find furniture. If you need furniture, this is the place to go. And we're talking anywhere from big box to high-end retailers like Stickley and Lee's Lighting. If you're more of a bargain hunter, you've got Miller's Flea Market nearby. It opens up only on the weekends, but you can go over there and get a thrill of getting your haggle on. Pineville, in terms of pricing, to get a home in this area, you're going to pay somewhere around $432,000 on average. There is a community that I highlighted a couple of weeks ago called Preston Park. It's a brand new construction community by Meritage here. So it does have access to new construction opportunities. One of the cons of living in Pineville is going to be that it is the smallest town that we've covered today. But there is another con. When the holidays come around, this area gets pretty congested because of the mall. So that is something to consider if you want to move to Pineville. The fourth area that we're going to talk about today is Huntersville. Huntersville is actually its own town, and it has about 62,000 residents. Huntersville is located north of Uptown Charlotte. It's about 19 minutes away from Uptown Charlotte and about 25 minutes away from Charlotte Douglas Airport. One of the things that makes Huntersville so popular is its prime location. It is very, very close to Lake Norman while not being very far from city center. So if you enjoy lake living and doing things like boating and jet skiing, you're going to absolutely love living in this area. And you also get to take advantage of the fact that you're close to Uptown Charlotte, especially if you want to work in that area or if you like to attend a lot of sporting events. This area is extremely popular for a shopping center that is a mixed-use environment called Birkdale Village. Birkdale Village is a beautiful area to go shopping, dining, catch a movie. During the holidays, they make the center area into an ice skating rink, and they do a lot of other things throughout the summer, such as yoga sessions. And not only that, but you can actually live in this area. This is an extremely popular shopping center, although there are many, many more throughout the Huntersville area. If you're into golfing, there are many public courses up there, including Birkdale Golf Club and as well as Skybrook Golf Club. If you have school-age children, you're going to love this area because many of the schools are highly rated by greatschools.org. But be careful because there is a portion of Huntersville that is zoned to the county next door, which is Cabarrus County. So you have to be careful to make sure you know where you're zoned to before you make your purchase. This area tends to have some older homes. However, there is starting to be a lot of new construction going on in this area. Now, if you do have children, there are two things you're going to love up here. You got Frankie's, which is a fun park that has things like go-karting, mini car bumper sessions, as well as arcade games. And you're also going to love Discovery Place Kids, the one in Huntersville, because there are two of them. One is in Uptown Charlotte. The one in Huntersville is more for children under the age of 7. When my son was young, I did take him to that one. Now, the other thing that you're going to love up there is once a year in around the October, November time frame, there is something that comes up there called Carolina Renaissance Festival. And last year was the first time I actually went to this event. It was really, really fun. It hails back to kind of medieval times, and they have different events there like jousting, juggling, and food that is reminiscent of those times. People even dress up from kids to adults. They are wearing medieval costumes. It is a whole lot of fun for the day. Now, if you do want to purchase a property in this area, you're looking at about an average of $589,000. Now, one of the cons of living in the Huntersville area is that because of its prime location, there are a lot of people living there, which means that the traffic is not good. It gets very congested up there. You have the Interstate 77 going up there, and it gets very, very congested. Now, one of the things they've done to try to defeat this is to put a toll road with an HOV lane on it. So if you have more than one person in the car, you can go on that lane, provided that you have the toll stickers or whatever you need to do in order to pay for the toll. However, being from New York, I am very accustomed to toll roads, and there is nothing exciting about toll roads. So if you do want to move to this area because you love lake living and you love the fact that you're close to Charlotte, to the center of Charlotte, it's a great area to live, but just know that you are going to have to contend with traffic on the way home. The fifth area that we're going to focus on today is Steel Creek. Steel Creek is located southwest of Uptown Charlotte. It's about 25 to 30 minutes from Uptown Charlotte and 20 to 25 minutes from Charlotte Douglas Airport. This area has been largely developed in the last 20 years, and it's mostly because of its proximity to Lake Wylie. It is extremely close to Lake Wylie, which means that if you love lake living, but you don't want to pay the prices that you would in Lake Norman, you will get access to a rather large lake here in Lake Wylie. Of course, that being said, Lake Wylie is more than double the size of Lake Wylie. Now, some other things that you can do in this area, if you're not a water baby, is Carowinds. Carowinds is an amusement park located between North and South Carolina. Part of it is in Steel Creek. Part of it is in Fort Mill, South Carolina. So if you're from a major city, liken it to Great Adventure or something like that. You can also go shopping at the Charlotte Premium Outlets, where you can snag some deals at places like Coach, Nike, Puma, or Michael Kors. There are also places to eat on the water or off the water. All down South Tryon, you will find different restaurants and eateries, as well as several new construction communities in the area. So that's exciting if you think that you want to go the route of new construction, because there are areas that are settled and just really do not have access to new construction. Ballantyne is one of those areas that typically you cannot get any new construction there. Now, Steel Creek also has Top Golf. So if you're competitive, but you're a novice golfer, it is an opportunity to hang out with friends, hit some golf balls, and kind of have a good time with food, drinks, and music. You can also toggle the line between North and South Carolina, because Steel Creek is on the border of South Carolina. So you have access to that area. If you do have family or you have a reason to go further south, Steel Creek may be the right location for you. If you're looking to buy a home in this area, it is going to cost you about $437,000. Two of the biggest cons of living in Steel Creek, one being it's a little further out than most of the other neighborhoods from Uptown Charlotte, And 2 is that parts of Steel Creek are outside of city limits, which means that some of the city services that you would typically get, you will not, and you will have to pay for them. Some of those would be things like recycling and garbage collection. If you're looking to make a move from anywhere that's a big city, any one of these 5 might be right for you. All of them have different pros, different cons, different price points. But if you want to talk about it further, I'd love to do that. My name is Yadi Karina Jones. I'm a real estate agent with Lifestyle International Realty here in Charlotte and in South Carolina. If you're looking to make a move, please feel free to text me, call me, set up a Zoom call, whatever you need to do to get in contact with me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'm inviting you to do so. Means a whole lot to me. Means that you get an opportunity to learn more about what's going on in Charlotte, North Carolina. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.